Welcome back, everybody, to the XoneBros. Welcome to another episode. This is podcast number 344. We're the XoneBros. We are your positive gaming and Xbox community. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. It's so good to see you. As always, I'm joined by the bros, the XoneBros. It's Mr. McSpicy.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello. Your mullet looks luscious. It looks soft. I want to run my fingers through it.
You're more than welcome to.
Maybe after the show, I will.
Yeah, you are. I have a very there's a very select few people that I would allow to do that. But
I'm one of
why
them.
not? Yeah.
I do have soft, supple hands.
You do. And that is why. That is absolutely why. So, yeah.
Next, it's Jordan the man.
Hello.
Jordan, you're looking good, too. You got the FanFest t-shirt on today.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Was a good time.
It's actually just a good t-shirt.
That was a good memory. And last but not least, I am X1. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Welcome to the show today. As always, we do stream live every single Friday night over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/X1Bros. Come join us. It is a good time. We love hanging out with you live. And, get to see all your faces. Now, our Game Club Game of the Month this month is Gears Tactics.
Good game.
Great game. Jordan, give the people out there your strategies when creating characters in Gears Tactics. It is a Game Pass game, everybody, so it is free. So make sure you come over and join us.
Also on PC if you want to play it that way as well.
You can play on PC as well because it's a Game Pass Ultimate game.
Yes,
Come join us over in Discord, and the Game Club game is there. Oh, speaking of that, well, I'll talk about that afterward. But give me your strategy. Give me the strategy of creating your characters.
Well,
in a game like this,
the way the game's kind of set up and the way I set it up is basically each character is specialized, right? You have characters that kind of lean towards one way or the other. At least that's how they are when you get them. They already have perks kind of in their tree. But I have set characters for sniper, set characters for assault people, set characters for defensive characters like big two-handed machine gun characters.
Oh yeah.
It's really fun. What I do like about the game a lot, though, is you can have two assault characters, for example, and you can completely spec them out different ways because they have kind of a four-pronged skill tree that you can go each direction with every character. It's really fun.
That is fun.
It's really good.
Spicy, now you name each of your characters your friends in a game like Gears Tactics.
Yeah.
And it brings meaning to your life, to your game. It makes it intense.
It makes you try hard. Or it makes you purposefully lose somebody if you're in a fight with them.
Like,
Someone pisses you off.
Just send him in.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about that.
What kind of class character am I in your game? In your Gears game?
That's a good question because I tend to try to make him who you are.
Match the personality?
You are not a stealth character. You are not a sniper character. I have you my assault character, and you always run in with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh, with the Nasher.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So I always have you be that character that runs in and does that.
Nice.
Because
I like that.
Because I have played Payday with you.
Yeah, that's
and when we try to, stealth, you just go, I don't care, I'm going in. I'm out. And then we all die, and we don't get any money from that heist.
What kind of character do you have Jordan?
See, Jordan is, I usually have him as like the support character.
I like support.
Because he's always a good support.
Because everybody needs a friend.
Everyone does need a friend.
Absolutely. Everybody needs a friend. So I have him always being like the guy that heals, the guy that provides ammo, that kind of thing.
I like it. Gears Tactics,
and I'm
guys.
the sniper. Okay, I'm gonna give myself the sniper.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes,
yeah.
Spicy is a sniper. He does play sniping in a lot of games.
I'm always a range character. I love range.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of sniping, we should play Vigor together after this. It'd be fun.
I will.
I've been doing a lot of sniping in that game lately.
If we don't, I think we might be after the show live.
Oh, that's right.
We might be putting Jordan's new PC together.
That's exciting.
Yes, and I did just think of something. I forgot the RAM at my house, so
you have to run home and get it.
So yeah,
oh, that's easy.
Yeah, no, it's
easy.
It's not.
You can do that.
Yeah, it's not too far, but
dude, that's exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm very excited for that.
So for those live that are listening live, I think it's official. We're just gonna. We're gonna end the stream. We're gonna start a new stream.
The PC build.
The PC
late
build
into the wee hours of the morning.
If you guys,
it's already kind of. It probably won't be. It'd probably be like 45 to an hour.
Okay,
not too long, right? Because the motherboard's already in.
It depends on if there's only
if it turns on or not, right? That's really is.
Because that's the thing. We've had several builds that you press that power button and then you just go, huh?
Oh yeah,
that is exciting.
One time,
isn't that working?
One time, this was our friend. We were building his PC. Me and Jordan. David, you might have been there too. I can't remember. But we were at his house. We were helping him build his first PC, and he called in the big guns, me and Jordan, to go help. And We're not the big guns, but people think we are, right? And his PC wouldn't start. And I was like, huh? We narrowed it down to the power supply, and I'm like, well, let's jumpstart this bad boy. And I got a coat hanger, and I think I impressed you, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Because I just went, thunk, and sparks flew. Started right up after that.
Yeah. Which actually, funny enough, after that, because I actually didn't know you could do that. Because you just find the two pins that are power and just
just
jump
power
in.
and
It's essentially like a car, right?
Boom!
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that, but after there's a bunch of different people on YouTube that do like PC channels and stuff, and you can tell the ones that have been doing it for years because I've seen those guys do it before. They're like, oh, this won't work. Let's just jumpstart it.
Boom! That is hilarious. That is funny. Guys, Gears Tactics. It's our Game Club Game of the Month. Come join us in Discord. There's discussion happening on our Game Club channel there. We did add a new channel to Discord this week. It's very exciting. For all of you achievement hunters out there, we now have an achievement hunting channel over on our Discord. And let me tell you, we have got some big guys.
Some ballers.
With some big achievement balls in
inspired
our community. And holy crap, well done. But if you need help, if you have the achievement itch, we officially
have the scratch.
we have the wooden hand to scratch it with over in Discord. So come join us. I think in November I went up 10,000 gamer score because I purposefully was trying to. I had actually reached out to like R56 Cooper, Freaky RO. Some people that I know are really big achievement hunters and said, hey, what do I do? Where do I need to go? They pointed me in the right direction, went 10,000, and I was like, okay, I'm going to keep this up every month. The next month I failed. I haven't done it since, actually. So.
Yeah, Freaky's super cool because when he was moving, and he was working on an achievement that was a daily achievement for like 3 years. He had to keep doing, and so he was like concerned
that
of all things to be concerned about from moving from the West Coast to the East Coast, right? The move was his achievement that he had to pull out his Xbox, occasionally do that. So
great question. There are some people in chat saying I don't know what Discord is. I apologize for assuming, but there are probably a lot of people in the community that might not know what Discord is. Discord is a chat application. You can download it on your phone. You can have it on your PC. You can have it in a web browser. Think of forums, but modern day forums. It's instantaneous chat. It's super great. There are chat rooms within it, and they're separated by topic. It is just a fantastic way to communicate, to get to know the community. We have a very active community there. It's a very positive place. Everybody's super cool, just has fun, helps out with games. That's where, like, our Destiny clan is there. If you're into Battle Royales, we've got a Battle Royale channel. Discord is really, really cool chat application. It's the number one used app on my phone. Let's put it that way.
Not only that, a lot of people don't know or don't use it anyway. It has voice party chat that is better than anything else I've ever used in my life. Like the quality. Why did you laugh at that?
No, I'm laughing at that.
Oh.
From our mod.
From our mod. Oh, that's funny. Way to represent the community, Fitzy. So we have public chat rooms as far as voice chat as well. If you just scroll down to the bottom of our channel, you can just hop in and talk to people too, and the quality is outstanding. Yeah. There's nothing that tops the audio quality as far as Discord goes.
You can be on your phone.
It's really good.
And it's fantastic.
So it's really good. So feel free to use it because we have open chat channels in there as well. So whether you're playing on the PC or your Nintendo, that's the best way to chat.
That's the Nintendo.
You can get the dongle, or you can just get Discord on the Switch.
We rated party chat with our phones. Okay. Well, we just call people.
There was some big news in the world that is Xbox this week, and I want to go over. I want to discuss it. The first one, the most obvious one, is the announcement, the teaser that Bethesda announced that they are working with Lucasfilm Games, which they renamed this week as well to Lucasfilm Games, on an Indiana Jones game.
Oh, that's dirty.
Exclusive to Bethesda. A lot of people are saying, is this going to be exclusive to Xbox? Is it not going to be exclusive to Xbox? We published a video this week, and here on YouTube, you guys can go watch it. If you're not subscribed, come subscribe to the YouTube channel. I believe this is why you bought Bethesda, to make this game, these types of games that will pull people in. A lot of people are saying that this is their answer to Uncharted. I'm not I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with that. I don't think that Xbox looks at Uncharted and says, we need to make a clone copy of that game to have success. I don't think that's the case at all.
Yeah.
The big news about Bethesda producing this game and publishing this game, Todd Howard,
Okay. Yeah, I know him.
he's the executive producer, and Machine Games is actually the developer.
Which is really cool because they're the Wolfenstein people. They know how to tell a story.
A really good story.
Now, they may have to dial a few things back.
Well, maybe not. Maybe we get
maybe.
a hardcore, gritty
Actually,
Indiana Jones.
Wasn't the first Indiana Jones about the Nazis?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah,
that's right up their
there,
wheelhouse.
there we go. We're
All
good.
the Indiana Jones are about the Nazis.
It's
He
right
hates
up the
those
weird.
guys.
Weird now. I think Machine Games, because it's Wolfenstein and it's a first-person shooter single-player game, I think the story gets overlooked a lot. That story is phenomenal.
Very
they are
well done.
phenomenal storytellers. Even number two in the first 5 minutes of the game has jaw-dropping things happen. They do a really good job of connecting you to characters, of giving you this emotional attachment. This is coming to, I believe this is going to be exclusive to Xbox. This is why Bethesda was purchased by Xbox. Imagine it's coming on Game Pass Ultimate. You'll be able to get it on PC.
So Xbox PC is where Microsoft.
This
right?
is why Xbox bought Bethesda. Jordan, agree with that? Disagree with that? What are your thoughts there?
No, I agree. I mean, why? And we've said it millions of times. Why are you buying a $7 billion company to share your toys, right? Essentially what we're saying, right? And if you think about it, every other purchase they have made has gone this course. Ninja Theory. They had Hellblade that I believe was on. Was it on the?
It was on PlayStation first.
Yeah, first,
Came out
and
there
then
first.
and then Xbox, and then PC. Now Hellblade 2, as far as I know,
Exclusive,
Xbox and
baby.
PC, right?
Yep.
So we've seen this happen with people they've purchased before. Bethesda just happens to be one of the
Bigger
if not
ones.
the biggest.
I mean, it
one.
rocked the boat.
Yeah, it really did. But I think Machine Games. So moving on from that, I think it'll be Xbox PC. It'll be a Microsoft exclusive. It'll be a Game Pass exclusive, right? Machine Games. I think that's a perfect pick for this type of game. Even if, let's say, people are comparing it to Uncharted, right? Even if this game is meant to compete with Uncharted or like a Tomb Raider, I think Machine Games is the perfect developer because if you've played Wolfenstein, it's a linear, story-driven experience.
Yeah.
And that's what Uncharted and Tomb Raider are, right? So I think they picked the perfect developer. I'm excited for it. And they, like we talked about, they know the Nazis. So
Yeah.
they have a background.
They know the Nazis.
They
So-
do for our video, so we don't have to keep refreshing. We should just throw up Indiana Jones.
I'm just gonna keep pressing
Okay.
Will that get
Well,
copyrighted?
See, that's the thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, this is so for those of you listening or watching the.
It's literally a 30-second teaser. that
Well,
they
it's 30
announced this.
seconds, but it's only half, so it's like 16 seconds long that I have to keep pressing
The
the
refresh
refresh button to loop this footage.
Spicy, I want to get your initial thoughts on this huge news from Bethesda Games. First off, exclusive to Xbox. Agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's very wishful. We've said this before. I think it's very wishful thinking. A lot of people, is this going to be? It's going to be exclusive. There is no way.
And I'll be honest, if it's not as consumer friendly as releasing it everywhere would be, and I do really like that Microsoft is very consumer friendly. If it's not an exclusive to Game Pass, I think that is, in my opinion, I think that is a foolish mistake on Microsoft's part.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. It's like Netflix letting Stranger Things be on Amazon Prime. What's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point? Like, oh well, come subscribe to our service. Except you can also watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're not going to do that. So, anyways, what are your thoughts? Because I figured this is right up your alley. This is kind of your game. I see you as an Indiana Jones man.
I like my history.
Yeah.
I'm an archaeologist at heart. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be good. I mean, it's Indiana Jones is awesome.
I mean, just story wise.
I mean, 80s Indiana
Yeah.
Jones, not the later one.
Yeah. Not the alien.
Not the Crystal Skull.
Not the Crystal Skull alien one, which is very disappointing. Not the Shia LaBeouf.
Not that
Indiana
one.
Jones.
No, I'm talking about OG, which this looks like the OG. We're watching this trailer. I actually really like that Bethesda is a place you can go because it's stamped in his like
Bethesda.
passport book.
Yeah, it is passport book. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to look at all the
There's
books
probably-
and paperwork because it's probably hinting at
And I
where-
bet
what
you
to
that's
come,
like
you know
maps
what I
right
mean?
there that we're
Yeah,
gonna get in
so-
game. So
Junior. I mean, I quote this movie all the time in the show. I've done it for years. And I quote, you know what? I'm one of those guys, and there's probably a lot of people out there in the world like me that just randomly throws a quote from a movie you like into a conversation just to gauge.
Just to gauge what your knowledge is.
No,
your
well,
movie
just to
knowledge.
gauge what kind of personality the person I'm talking to is. You know,
Sure.
like I'll have Anchorman quotes, I'll have Goonies quotes, I'll have a lot of 80s movies quotes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do that all the time, and then I do that with Indiana Jones a lot. So I think this has potential to be a very, very, very good game.
I mean, you just gave people a reason to be excited about the Xbox.
Yeah.
I think this is a part of why the future is bright for Xbox. But purchasing Bethesda, opening yourself up to these types of titles exclusive on your platform, on your Game Pass subscription service, this is what they needed. It's big news.
Well, and this is exciting for Bethesda and Machine Games because it's kind of something new for them.
Yeah.
Something fresh, right?
Well, it's still Nazis.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But Machine Games, I think they do get overlooked as storytellers.
Very good story.
And it's fantastic storytellers. So it's very exciting that they're doing this.
So-
I cannot wait.
I don't think we're going to see this anytime soon, though. I think this is either at the soonest holiday 2022 or even 2023.
Well, they only have a 16-second trailer at this point. So
Oh yeah, this is just very initial.
Can we talk about the other big Lucasfilm thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ubisoft.
Yes.
So
That's
what's
right.
interesting about this is I think either EA lost the license or just didn't renew it because it used to be EA was the Star Wars developer, right? Now we're getting other developers like Bethesda and Ubisoft. It's been announced that they are working on a new open world Star Wars adventure.
Do it to me, baby.
Yeah,
That's
open
exciting.
world. That's all we know about it. There's no 30-second trailer or anything like that. We know it's going to be an open world Star Wars adventure, and we do know it's being published or it's being developed by Massive Studio, which is the people in charge of The Division.
Okay, they're pretty good at building worlds. I mean, Division is a quality
They
world.
built New York and Washington.
They built dystopians.
yeah. So,
they sure have.
Star Wars is just a giant dystopia.
so I was talking to our barber
Okay.
about this. We were chatting about it, and we kind of talked about, you know what? Even if this game was just a Star Wars skin of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I think I'd be okay with that. I don't need
Yeah.
anything fancy. I just want an open world fun experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Give your Viking
So I'm wondering,
a lightsaber and go to town.
yeah, I'm wondering, do you think it's going to be something like that, or do you think it's going to be more
No.
RPG Division-like?
No, I think
where
you've
it's
got to
gonna
go RPG Division. Like, actually, just put it over the Division skin, and instead of bullets, change the bullets to lasers, and give yourself
Do
a
you
lightsaber
think?
and
Do you
go
think
to
it'll
town.
be a looting type of game though?
Dude,
you know?
in the Star Wars universe, that would be amazing. Don't you think so?
I
never even
don't know.
considered that.
I don't know. How would you do it? Because like,
How would you do it? You'd have boss fights.
Well, no, I
You'd have
get that you
end
can have
levels.
boss
You could
fights
do
and you
way
can do all
more
this
with
stuff.
it than you can do with Division.
Yeah. But would it work?
Yeah.
In the respect that like, oh, I got that lightsaber upgrade.
I
you
think
know,
not
with
only
the
does it
lore.
work, I think you instantly put it on par with Destiny, which Division is seen as like a second tier, I
No,
think.
Jordan, it's a fantasy world, even though it's a fantasy world in space.
Yeah,
So
I
you
guess
can totally
make
have.
up, I mean, Disney makes up whatever
look at
world they want.
Mandalorian.
I guess you could do whatever you want.
Look
I
at
guess,
Mandalorian. They're just trying to get those armor pieces.
Yeah.
Makes up any lore they want.
Yeah,
to.
so I guess
Why not?
you know what, you're right. By today's standards, I guess you can just.
And you'll be able to get the bombs that actually have gravity in space. You'll be able to upgrade those to have like the gravity edition.
Drop those.
Woo! And
No,
the
yeah, I
laser
would-
cannon shots that have gravity in space too.
I mean, I guess I'd be fine with both. We were just talking and curious. Like, do you think it's going to be more leaning towards an Assassin's Creed style open world or more of a Division open?
I think I think going Division would be cool. Would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're right. I guess in the online game you upgrade your lightsabers. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, why not?
Anyways,
Well,
regardless.
you don't necessarily need to just base everything on lightsabers. Lightsabers could be like the end game weapons.
Well,
Oh, yes,
it could be
please.
like the online game where a Jedi is a class, or you can pick a trooper, a bounty hunter,
Mandalorian?
right? Yeah, Mandalorian.
with unstoppable armor.
yeah,
See?
they'll have to nerf that.
Have to-
No, but
Especially if it's multiplayer.
But if
balance
they,
issues
if they
there.
do a rock paper scissors format, Mandalorians could be the ones that take out Jedi.
Yeah.
Jedi can be the ones to take out stormtroopers, and stormtroopers could be the ones to take out the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
yeah.
You see, you could do that.
You could. Yeah. No, absolutely. It would be amazing.
No,
Why
yeah,
not?
it would be fun. But that's the other big one. So Ubisoft and Bethesda are developing the new Lucasfilm games, which is very
Very
cool.
exciting. Good for Ubisoft. Congratulations. That's a big get.
Yeah, that is actually.
You just.
I don't know if that's like
going to the dance with the prom queen.
if that's incredibly exciting for the studios or incredibly stressful
or
for
daunting.
the studios.
I will say, have you guys either of you watched season 2 of The Mandalorian?
Not yet.
I've
no,
seen episode 1.
It is.
And
I am
maybe 2.
impressed. I had written it off. I didn't even want to watch this season because last season was just. It wasn't like bad. Just for me, it was blah. It just didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's actually why I stopped watching it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was
And then
just-
over Christmas break, my wife was like, "Let's watch it," and I was like, "Okay, let's watch it." And immediately it hooks you. The story is fantastic. The ending is really stuff happens. It's very good. I was very impressed. I was blown away actually.
So 5 different sources in 1 week, it was last week, told me you should watch The Mandalorian season 2 because it's really good. But you should watch Clone Wars before it because I haven't finished Clone Wars.
So there are. So I only,
we're not going to spoil anything.
Yeah, I only know Clone Wars vaguely from passing by the television when Jordan and my youngest brother watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are characters from Clone Wars, and it all ties in together. It's very. They did a very well done.
So I'm halfway through season 2 of Clone Wars. So I'm watching that to watch this. That's how excited I get over
Wow.
Star Wars stuff.
Good.
Well, yeah, no, because I've only seen episode 1, and episode 1 kind of starts out like the episodes in season 1, where it's just kind of.
Yeah.
I think our barber put it the best way as well. It was like a monster of the week episode. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
agree
And
with
that's all season
agree
1
with
was, and that's kind of why I fell off, right?
Yeah.
So episode 1 of season 2 kind of starts out the same way, but the way they leave it cliffhanging, there was that story and then an overarching story within
It was good.
right? Yeah, so
They
it's
did
like
a
yeah,
very
so
good job. This.
it's much better.
In fairness,
And I'm not done with it yet. So.
In fairness, but boy, Will says I thought season 1 was great. In fairness, in the middle of season 1 or like a couple episodes in, The Witcher came out, and I jumped ship and watched Witcher first, and Witcher was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then when you go from phenomenal to just even good, it's a very big disappointment.
Yeah.
The Witcher,
Well,
I think they did a fantastic job with.
And I'm not trying to say, and I don't think you were either. We're not trying to say season 1 was bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
Because it was just okay. Like I was expecting.
I just felt,
That's how I felt.
Whereas-
I felt like it was monster of the week.
yeah.
You know
Whereas
what I mean?
Witcher, when I jumped over, it was like,
It was this- it was
this is what I wanted from The Witcher.
Yeah, it was multiple storylines tying together to tell one big story. It was very well written and good. I thought, right? But I mean, but no, I'm excited for season 2 of The Mandalorian. And,
Andrew Cullinane left a super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. He says the young Indiana Jones was amazing. It's true. It's true. Much better than the old Indiana Jones, and more importantly, much better than Aliens. Like, don't give me that cop out answer. What is
It's
that? A
always
Deus
Alien.
Ex? Isn't that a Deus Ex basically? Deus Ex Machina. What? How do you say it? I don't even know. I just say
Yeah,
Deus Ex.
Machinima? Makima?
Ex Machina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Machina.
Just, how are we going to tie this up, guys? Old Indiana Jones, Shia LaBeouf is here now. What do we want to do? Aliens. All right, done.
Let's do it. Was there even Nazis in that one?
Isn't the flaw? Is it Big Bang Theory that points this out? I'm sure lots of people pointed this out, but I know it from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, it's the first
that in
movie.
the first Indiana Jones, if you removed Indiana Jones from the entire equation, the exact same timeline happens.
Well, the
That
exact
in-
same. It's they talk about so they do talk about it in Big Bang Theory,
Yeah,
but it's
well, that's
also
the first
it's
time I
talked,
was
it's
exposed
talked
about
about everywhere. It's talked about how it's not necessarily the most well written because if you take the main character out, the plot rolls out the exact same way. And if you think about it and watch it and take Indiana Jones out in your mind, it actually does roll out the exact same
Always
way.
ends with the Nazis opening the chest and dying.
But the problem is, is like you know that, and it hurts you because you like
does.
it.
No,
Indiana
but I was-
Jones. You're like, no.
Well, because I went through all the Big Bang Theories recently because I never finished them all, and they got to that episode, and I was like, and you think about it, and you're like, they're right.
Yeah, it's like,
And I know that that's probably like urban lore or that's been said before. They're just popularizing it in their show. But I thought, whoa, they're right.
yeah, it's
And it
unfortunate.
Does, it does kind of kicks you in the nuts.
Yeah, because it hurts. You're like, well, but I like Indiana Jones.
It kicks you in the nuts.
yeah. And they counter it too. They're like, well, but wait a minute, what about this? And they have an answer for everything. Like,
And they're like, well, no, because they opened it anyway.
Yeah, like, no
It's
matter
like,
how you write it,
like,
the Nazis get the chest, open it, and they all die.
Yeah, it's he's yeah.
Which is hilarious. One of the other big news stories in the Xbox world this week that I just want to discuss briefly is Xbox coming to PC, which is a recent thing, going to Steam, which is a recent thing. So Steam every year releases its top of Steam, its top 100 for the previous year. So this is top for top 2020 games sold on their platform, and the Microsoft exclusives, the Microsoft games did very, very well there. In the top 100, so they break it down. They have categories: platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and that's how many based on total revenue for the year. In the platinum category, Xbox technically had no games. However, Bethesda had Doom, which is now an Xbox game. So I think that does bode well for the future of Xbox, having that. And in every category, it shows you the powerhouse that is Bethesda. Bethesda had not only games, but multiple games in each category. But in the platinum one, Doom was there. So in gold, though, Sea of Thieves.
It's a popular game.
Sea of Thieves on PC, on Steam, crushed it, as well as Halo the Master Chief Collection, also in gold. That's very impressive for the PC, for both of those games. Well done. Well done, Microsoft. Going over to silver, Microsoft Flight Simulator was silver, which is huge considering it just dropped this fall. When did it drop? October?
In the fall.
Yeah, October, I think. So you only had really 3 months of 2020, and it beat out most games on Steam in sales. Shows you the power that is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, I think it's a console seller when it drops on the Xbox.
Do you want us to talk about that?
Wait, just show me any thought. Just jump in whenever.
That's really interesting information, David.
Thank you.
I'm actually glad you brought that. I actually really am. That's interesting.
On bronze, their last level bronze, they had Ori and Will of the Wisp on bronze. Grounded on bronze, which is technically still in
which
beta.
is another fall game and in early access.
Yeah.
So.
And Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which is a 15, 20-year-old game.
Yeah.
It's actually more than that, like close to 30 years. That did well. So well done.
That's a good look for Microsoft.
Overall,
Okay, there we go.
Overall, I think this proves the concept of Game Pass. I think this proves the concept of the strategy of Xbox that, hey, let's bring these games. Let's be Xbox exclusive. Let's have this Game Pass thing on both PC, on Xbox, and then let's see how these games do on Steam. I think it proves the concept. I think it shows that PC audiences will play your games. I think if you notice here, too, there's a common denomination here outside of Doom. I think Doom is just a quality single player.
Oh, yeah, excellent game.
I mean, it does a multiplayer, but it's just a quality shooter that everybody wants to play. A lot of these games are multiplayer games. In fact, all of them, minus Ori, are multiplayer games. I do think multiplayer games probably trend more on Steam, particularly competitive multiplayer. Halo Master Chief Collection crushed it there. Sea of Thieves. I mean, how many streamers were playing Sea of Thieves? And not just streamers, but big streamers playing Sea of Thieves. So being on computer is a solid quality. I think you're going to see PlayStation start to go there as well. It'll be
they have
interesting to
already
see if
a little
Nintendo
bit,
does. Yeah, they had Horizon Zero Dawn, which did make the top 100. It did make bronze though.
And I think like Become Human. So a few of their titles are making it over to PC, right? Which is
so
good.
I think that's going to be the future. I do think this proves the concept of Xbox's strategy going forward, furthering this idea that honestly, I think the future is bright for Xbox. Everybody wants to live in the now, and right now, in between consoles, we're living off of the high of the PlayStation 4. Xbox just didn't do as well. But you can't live in the now. You got to look at the future, and Xbox has set themselves up to just do really well. I know I'm going to get some, you're just a fanboy, blah, blah. Maybe, but that's what I'm seeing. That's the analysis that I have based off of where they're going, what they've said, and what the results have been so far.
And I mean, fanboy or not, you can't deny that Microsoft's long-term plan is looking good, and that long-term plan is Xbox Game Pass.
Oh yeah, Game Pass.
Basically Game Pass Ultimate, and this play anywhere you want. I love the fact that I can on Game Pass, play a game and then jump over to the PC and play the same game if it's also available on that Game Pass as well, right?
Yeah.
Cross save, cross play, all that fun stuff, right?
Agreed. Spicy, any thoughts on this? Any ideas?
Yeah, Microsoft's plan is to buy everybody.
Yeah,
and that'll win.
That'll win. I mean,
buy everybody.
He
good.
who has the most money wins.
I mean, that Bethesda one came out of nowhere, right? That was pretty big news.
Well, it's interesting because didn't they try to buy everybody once in the 90s? But they did it the wrong way. They just went out and did it.
Well,
right? They're kind of weaving in and out. And
the problem is, in the 90s, they bought things that politicians use, right? Politicians aren't gamers. So I think they're in a safe space
now
here.
they're coming at it from a different direction.
They're coming at they're going to swing this way.
We can own everything. We just have to go at it this way.
As long as they don't do any mobile games or whatever, I don't know. Because it was all like all the companies that they were purchasing
didn't they single-handedly almost break the gaming industry? Because didn't they buy up all the DirectX stuff?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why it's called the Xbox.
Well, no, I know, but didn't they they buy it up, and everybody was like, "What are you guys going to do anything with it? What's going on?" Because I don't think they did. They didn't buy it up for the Xbox, did they? They bought it up for Windows, and some guy was like, "Well, what if we took a laptop and put it in the living room?" And then the Xbox kind of came to be, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So interesting.
I like that. That's what they had to think of when they could have just said, "Why don't we make our own Nintendo?"
Well, like the guts of the first Xbox is just it's just a PC.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Some guy was like, "Well, give me a box, grab me some tape, let's make this sucker."
Well,
that's
it's
why
like,
that's why you could mod them all.
Well, it's like the color green. If you ever, Ryan McCaffrey did a really good interview with all the Xbox heads, right? And they had a couple of the original people who helped make the Xbox, and they talked about, I think it was during this interview, they talked about why it was green, and they said that's the only marker that was on the table. So they just grabbed it. And they
I think a lot of stuff. There are decisions made with iconic pieces of hardware or cultural pieces that were well thought out, and there are decisions made that
Shoot
are
by the
just
hip
because
decisions.
it's what you had to do. You know, and sometimes those are the most interesting stories.
Yeah, so.
Let's pull up some Cyberpunk gameplay here, because we do have to talk some Cyberpunk. Some big news with Cyberpunk happened this week.
Yeah, so Cyberpunk.
Jordan, tell us about the apology.
Yeah, Cyberpunk came out with an official apology and roadmap for the future. So the apology was just an apology by the co-founder of CD Projekt Red. In a nutshell, you can watch it. It's about I think it's like a 5-10 minute video, something like that. You can watch it. It's basically him apologizing for the state of the game at launch, what they're going to do in the future. They're going to fix it. They're not going to leave anybody behind, whether old console or new. Basically kind of what they did. He took full responsibility, and he said this is on the executives, not the development team. He said ultimately the executives are the one that said, hey, let's put it out, and basically don't blame the development team, their hardware, all that. So you're kind of, I don't want to say typical corporate apology,
sure,
but it was kind of your typical corporate apology. Yeah. So
we're sorry.
Yeah. Although it was.
Well,
yeah,
you finished the game.
Well,
I want to know. Do you think the apology was warranted, that he needed to apologize?
I think for older consoles, maybe.
Okay.
Well, this was
definitely.
This was
Mark
a total,
shaking his head.
Yeah,
with,
this is total.
With a hell yeah.
Yeah. They should not have released that on the old hardware unless it was polished, and it was not.
Definitely was not.
They forgot to play test it on the old hardware.
Well, what's interesting about that is I thought I read somewhere, and chat can correct me if I'm wrong, and I might just be spreading rumors. This might be headline reading that I'm doing, where I didn't read the article, just headline, but I saw something that like 80% of players are no longer playing Cyberpunk, who had initially purchased it, are no longer playing it. I am one of those, because after I saw what the PC could do, I'm waiting for it on the Series X.
What's interesting about that is I think that statistic is a little bit.
Also, it's a 40-hour game.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I bet you, like The Last of Us Part 2, all of a sudden, probably after about 2 months in, had a huge drop off because everybody beat the game, right?
Okay.
It's a 40-hour, 100% everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too long game,
And I think we discussed this last week,
which
too,
actually is not necessarily bad, because it's kind of like, oh, okay, that was a nice, good experience, right? Now you move on. But
you do have a complaint, though. They did release a roadmap.
Oh yeah, the roadmap I think the roadmap was just PR. It's nothing. It's just kind of. I mean, even if you look at the roadmap, they did it in Word real quick and just sent it out.
So if you look at the roadmap, go Google it. Just type in the
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 updates to roadmap. They literally just drew a line. It looks like they put before they have 2021 like a third of the way on the line. Before it, they have hot fixes, patches.
Yeah, so
hot fixes.
they have the previous hot fixes they already had, the 3 just before the new year. And then they have patch 1.1, which is coming out in January, and they have patch 1.2, which is coming out in February, which, by the way, we already knew about. And then they have the rest of the year kind of squiggled out, and it says free DLC, free next-gen upgrade, and then multiple updates and improvements. So basically...
no specifics.
Well, what's funny is this doesn't actually tell us anything we didn't already know.
Yeah, so it's not really a road... Because traditionally, in a roadmap... You get this DLC is coming out on this date. This DLC is coming out on this date. Then we're going to do multiplayer at this date.
I'm going to see if I can find it online real quick.
Yeah, so it's just I think the roadmap is funny. It's a pointless roadmap because it basically says okay, we're coming out with patch 1.1 and 1.2 in January and February, which we already knew about, and then the rest of the year we're going to come out with stuff too. And it was like, oh, okay, like it just kind of.
Let's see if
it's just an interesting roadmap. Although one thing we did take out of this roadmap because we already knew that we were getting free DLC too.
Yeah.
The one thing we did take out of this roadmap, which may be a disappointment to some, is the free next gen console update is coming out the
This
latter
year.
half of this year.
So probably fall.
So probably fall. So that may be a bummer to some, but the reason
I like
I
this
laugh
roadmap. It's funny.
the reason I laugh at the roadmap is because it essentially tells us nothing.
Yeah, so
that
if-
we already
It's like
knew.
I could see it on the grease board. Okay, what we got here. This is what we're gonna release.
Let's just when we announce
just squiggle marks here.
when we announce our apology,
and just
let's
put
drop this.
stuff.
Multiple updates.
So
Yeah.
All right, make this look good, Tony.
Tony.
my intern, and then blast it out.
So-
That's
So
what
if
this
the
is.
X1 Bros were to do a roadmap for 2021, similarly to the way that Cyberpunk did theirs, which we're not piling on to Cyberpunk. This is just
It's
is
just
funny.
funny.
We would basically have 2021, and then we'd have 2022 on a timeline, and in between we would just say, "Stuff is coming." That's basically what the roadmap here is.
But yeah, like I said, the one thing we did take out of it is we do know that, and they announced this during the video as well, is that the free next-gen upgrade is still coming. The graphical update for the Xbox Series X
Yeah.
is still coming, but it'll be the later half of this year. So that is a little bit a bummer to those that have it on the new console. But I understand that they have to fix the game first. That being said, my initial review, I think, still stands. I think the core of the game is good. I think the setting of the game, Mark said it's one of the best open
The
world
world-
settings.
Yeah.
The world
Arenas,
development is amazing.
Sandboxes.
And it's the map is just so good.
Uh-huh.
But what makes you forget that the map is so good is there's like 3 of the same fat lady walking around
Yeah.
in the tightest jean shorts I've ever seen in my life.
When are you
And
going?
that- you know what I mean?
When are you going
Pulls
back to
you
this
out.
game, Spicy?
Once the update hits. So
The
I
next
have
gen.
So I have
But
stopped.
the next gen update or the 2 updates this week?
If you look at my diagram right up here, your roadmap, like right up here, yes. In that black squiggly marks is where I plan on playing.
Which is sometime between now and 2022.
Yes, when the full on next gen update hits. So 4K,
Yeah, that'll- yeah.
full power to my new Xbox, right?
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna play it because I want to experience that. So I've stopped playing just because now I wanna play it when this game is
Same.
meant
I
to
stopped
be.
playing when I think was the last the podcast where we were showing off footage from the PC.
I think it
version.
was right before Christmas.
right before
break.
Christmas, and
Yeah.
it was like, I want that. Wow.
Yeah.
Looked really good.
Which
Interestingly enough, this is still the #1 selling game on PC, which makes sense. PC
because it's not broken.
it's not broken, and you
It
get
still
all
has
those
its issues,
upgrades
but it's not broken.
and stuff like that.
well,
So
the place where it's taking the most flack is Xbox and PlayStation 4,
which is your largest,
which is your
two largest player bases.
exactly 'cause
Most
it's
people
the most
that's what they
consoles,
still
right?
have.
So-
What's interesting is the update, the next gen update coming right before Christmas. It looks like, or in that fall era. This could be
Well,
the #1
anytime
selling game
between-
next Christmas as well.
It could be, yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that, I mean, a great game is a great game.
Well, and maybe by the end of this year we'll have a full-on expansion. To
With
it.
the- I mean, we are getting those free
depending
DLCs
on
as
how
well.
these patches go and the free DLCs, which he did talk about, will be very similar to The Witcher's free DLC, which was a lot of good DLC. You had different, beard packs, like cosmetic packs. You had quests that they added and stuff like that. So really cool.
That
stuff.
is amazing.
But anyway, yeah, I think the game is good. The core of it's good. It's just a shame the way it launched because Mark said it too. For every good thing there is, which there's a lot of good things, there's almost one thing that holds it back with bugs and stuff like that. That being said, I haven't played it on the base console, so I don't know that full experience. But from the Xbox Series X experience, I enjoyed it, but it's a shame the way it launched.
Yeah.
Well,
they do have a plus. This roadmap makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
I think they
it is
had
funny.
to put this roadmap out for like PR type thing.
It's
You know what I
totally-
mean?
that's
To-
what it is,
To just
totally.
like, oh, we see that they have a plan.
Well, and it does
How
show
vague-
that they're like trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying. It's a company that's not used to being transparent. This is them trying to be transparent.
Yeah.
And it's an almost endearing.
One
It's kind of
because
ridiculous. It makes you want to hug them.
yeah. Because of who they are. I mean, I don't know. There's probably a lot of people that have played The Witcher on day one. There's probably a lot of people that played The Witcher just when it came to Game Pass. But The Witcher on day one, I don't want to say it was as bad as Cyberpunk,
But it had its
but it
issues.
had a very good handful of issues that the company, CD Projekt Red, worked hard to fix. They brought multiple updates. They gave multiple free updates. They came out with, in my opinion, 2 of the best expansions I've ever played.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do trust that they'll, fix some of the issues here and kind of add maybe some cut stuff that they didn't make it into the base game and hopefully make the game more playable on the base consoles. And, yeah.
Regardless, go look up the roadmap. It is pretty funny. It is exciting to see where this game goes. Captain Obvious in chat says, I'm enjoying Skyrim too much right now to play it. Rose City Gamer says, I feel like The Witcher 3 took 6 to 8 months to really find a sweet spot.
Yep, no, that sounds about
then
right.
the DLC and WoW greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah.
That's about what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah.
To Captain Obvious, Skyrim, ready for this? So, obviously, Microsoft now owns Skyrim. Skyrim is how old? How old is Skyrim?
Came out in 2011.
2011, I think, right?
Skyrim,
The release date was 11/11/11.
Top-selling game, one of the top-selling games on Steam this year, 2020. That is insane. You know the other one that's similar? Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Both of those. What do they have? They've got sandbox experiences. But while
Skyrim's got mods.
Skyrim, those mods, I mean, sandbox single-player game.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, that I think, I've said this before, I think that's the future of quote-unquote the MMO. Is this sandbox experience. Look how many people are still buying the game, playing the game. If Red Dead Redemption could just do it to their game, we'd be sitting pretty. We'd be giddy up, as they say, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Jordan, you really like Call of Duty Zombies, and it's free this weekend. What... For those who haven't played it, who might want to jump in and try it this weekend, tell us about Call of Duty Zombies.
Well, it's very fun. So
it's a lot of zombies coming at you.
Yeah,
with your friends, and you shoot them.
No, yeah, so
and you try to survive.
Yeah, Call of Duty's having the Zombies free trial from the January 14th through the 21st. What's cool about this is if you decide to buy the game afterwards, all your progress will be carried over. So it'll cross save with you, if you will. But no, Zombies is really fun. So I played Zombies a lot in the very first game, World at War. If you remember that. Then, that's when I kind of fell off Call of Duty for a while. We came back in the recent years. Black Ops 4 Zombies was fun. We played a bit of that. It was really fun doing the I don't forget the name of the level, but it was basically Titanic, the Coliseum. You remember those levels? They're all really fun, right? This one, in my opinion, I'm not like a diehard Zombies, right? I don't know the story or anything like that, but this one I think is just as fun. It's a lot, like Mark said, it's just
Does
a
it
ton.
have story?
Oh yeah, the Zombies all have they have story.
Well,
When this one isn't Ronald Reagan in this one?
But
no,
I mean,
he was in the second one.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah, that was great. It was the greatest cutscene ever.
Do the zombies do they have backstory and lore?
No. There's a whole lore and story, and I think again, people can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not like a huge lore person into the zombies, but I think the zombie story carries across games as well. Like there's Easter eggs to previous. It does have a story.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. No, it's really it's basically developed into its own gameplay.
Now Mark's
mode,
gonna go play it.
Well, I mean, I played the first 2 versions. I mean, the first one that came out in World at War, you had to beat the game to play it, and so that's one of the campaigns that I did. For Call of Duty because I really liked it, but I haven't been in the zombie scene in a while.
It's not like the
I did not know that Zombie 11653-8 had a very sad story going on, and he had a love interest and everything.
Nazi
I didn't
zombies,
know.
Yeah. So the characters have their own lore, like the characters that you play as, right? It's not like the campaign where you're going from mission to mission. There's cutscenes in between each mission because it's just, as of right now, I believe it's just the one map right now, or no, there might be. Anyway, it's just the game. It's like when we played Black Ops 4, there was different maps, but there was kind of story within those.
Yeah.
There was a few cutscenes here and there at the beginning, the end, you know what I mean? So anyway, very cool. I jumped into Call of Duty this week.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It was really good. I actually played the multiplayer. It was a lot of fun.
How'd you do? That's the question.
I don't know. You could pull up the stream. I dominated.
Now,
I tore it up.
Did you reach that point of confidence where you're like, guys, I can't die. Let's
pretty much
follow me.
You should.
And then you got sniped in the head?
No. That was Warzone.
Oh, okay.
But that was also a good time.
That was with Spicy.
Yeah,
and Spicy watched you
Yeah, I was
walk past him.
No, I was destroying
Follow
that round.
me.
Yeah, I had 10 kills at that point. They couldn't touch me. I was seeing the Matrix.
I think you had 11 kills. You had 11 kills. We're near the end. We have the high ground, Anakin.
Yeah.
We had the high ground. They had to come to us, but no. Jordan goes, you know what? Screw this. I got 11 kills. I'm God.
I got this, guys.
I'm going to run straight in a beeline right towards somebody, a couple snipers with no cover, not even going left or right.
He just walked through.
I was of the opinion that bullets were deflecting off of me at that point.
He's down at the river.
It's like that scene in Dances the Wolves where he's fed up and he wants to die, and he's riding across on his horse with his hands open like this, and no one can hit him.
And I'm Doc Holliday going, he's down at the water, walking on water.
No, that was a really
Down
good
at the
round.
river.
Like,
and he inspires all the troops to come out. This didn't happen. This didn't happen that way with Jordan, though.
His head blue got blown across the map 3 seconds in.
And I'll tell you, that takes you down because I was on a high. I was playing really good that round. It was just a really
You had
good
11
round.
kills.
Yeah.
That's a great round.
It was awesome. And then just...
And we had it there. We had the win. I wanted that cutscene at the end that showed our names and everybody else that
helicopter,
died.
Yeah, so that was unfortunate.
He felt like God.
Overconfidence.
I could feel it.
No, but Call of Duty Zombies, I'm really enjoying Zombies. It's super fun.
If he could, he would have thrown down his guns and pulled out his fisticuffs.
Yeah, like, let's box, baby.
It was intense. But
Spicy, you've been playing Phoenix Immortals Rising.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
You like it a lot?
Really good game. I'm not very far in right now. But it's got great humor. It's the Zelda Breath of the Wild that I can play on my Xbox.
Is it exactly what you expected it to be? That's what you expected it to be.
I heard that, but I didn't realize how much like that
Really,
it is.
really.
And it's in a Greek mythology setting,
which I
is
think I would prefer. I really enjoy Greek mythology from a story standpoint and bad guy standpoint. I really like it.
It's hilarious. It's a very they have I don't want to spoil something it's in the first 10 minutes.
Go ahead, do it.
Okay, everyone that's going to play this game, this is a 10-minute in spoiler, okay? Just to kind of give you an idea, a taste of the humor in this game. So, you appear and it's Prometheus telling Zeus a story, and you're the story. So it's like that, right? There's narration going on, and you're learning, and you jump in this hole to find an axe, essentially, and then the credits come on, and Zeus is like, "Well, that was a great story because you died." It's like and all the credits were Zeus.
That is hilarious.
There's it's a very funny game.
There's a tongue-in-cheek humor to it.
I really like it. I think this is a great game for adults and a great game for kids.
It's a good family game.
It's not a co-op game.
Pleases everybody.
But it's how the storytelling is done, like how Prometheus. Is it Prometheus? I think that's the right guy. It's how he's telling it. It would be very easy for, I would say, even 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds
to watch.
Not just to watch, to play, because it's narrating what's going on. It's not like Bastion,
that's what brought up Bastion.
But it's funnier, and it's nice, clean, child-friendly game that adults really can enjoy too. I think it's a great game.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm very excited. That's one of the ones that I'm looking forward to jumping in and playing. Glad to hear that you...
It's good. I really like it. I'm excited to 100% this game. So.
Another one, and we watched the trailer before the show here. Maybe we could pull it up again. This is the Scott Pilgrim versus the World Redux.
The complete edition. This game came out, I think, probably 10 years ago, according to the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer says 10 years ago.
10 years, yeah. Anyway, so Scott Pilgrim versus the World the game complete edition is coming out. It's actually available now. I believe it launched on the 14th, which was yesterday. It's on Xbox. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up style game, 2D arcade beat-em-up style game. But if you like Scott Pilgrim, or if you like beat-em-up style games, or if you like 2D arcade style games, this is the game for you. No, I'm really excited for this because I'm not the biggest I like Battletoads, I like the Streets of Rage thing, but they're not like my go-to games, the beat 'em up games.
Why does this one appeal to you?
But I don't know, it's just fun. I like that art style is fun.
So
right?
you remember when we had 15, 20 years of not having these beat 'em up games?
Yeah.
And then we had a whole bunch come,
Yeah.
This is the game that kind of brought back
All
those games.
Yeah.
That and Castle Crashers.
Crashers
Yeah,
was fun,
that game and this game kind of came out in the same time period. It's a very good game. So I think.
So bringing it back, what are they redoing here?
Well, they're just making it
Available now for you.
Available. I'm sure the resolution and all that stuff, right? They're making it available for new consoles, right?
Also, it's an Xbox 360 game.
Yeah.
So you
gotta
now
bring
can
it up.
play it on here and now.
Series
Here,
X.
here now.
So.
It
But
looks hilarious.
I
I know nothing
like-
about Scott Pilgrim. I've not watched the movie. I would imagine to get the full experience here, I need to watch that movie.
Well, and that's what I like. That's what appeals to me mostly about this game is the fact that I like Scott Pilgrim, the comic books, and then of course the movie was really good too.
Movie's
But,
fantastic, David.
No, I that's why I'm excited mostly is the fact that it just takes place in the Scott Pilgrim universe.
So is this out now?
Yes, came out yesterday. It's $15, $14.99.
It's
Not a bad
$15.
price.
I'm willing to drop $15.
Can I tell you a story of how I was introduced to this movie?
Yes, please.
Because I was introduced to the movie before the comics and everything, right?
Sure.
My friend, just randomly, I haven't talked to him forever, calls me up. He's like, "You have got to go see Scott Pilgrim. It's like playing a video game, but in a movie." And I'm like, "What?"
And
He's
is
like,
that really what it is?
Because you'll have to watch it to see what he meant. Because it really is. Like, I was like, "Oh, this movie's awesome." Because people who enjoy video games, like traditional classic video games, would love this movie. And this game, right? Just because how the movie is presented and how the evil X's are and all this stuff. They're all boss fights, right? Kind of a thing. It's a great movie. And I'm surprised you have not seen it.
A lot of people that I know really like this movie. Those people were also not.
They wanted paper straws, right?
Yeah. Well, they just didn't. On anything else, we don't share the same taste, and so that's why I was always like, okay, I can imagine what this movie is. But then people who do share the same taste as me also tell me that it's great. So it sounds like it's just a great movie.
Yeah. Well, I think you didn't. Okay, I could be wrong.
There's like cross appeal.
Yeah. You probably didn't like it because a lot of people told you would like it.
Yeah, maybe it's just
and that's how I am too.
My own childishness.
And it was. Remember, this movie came out kind of before games were as mainstream as they are.
Oh, okay.
And it's a very video game centric movie.
I gotta watch
and
it.
it
I'm gonna watch
has wait, who's the main character? Is the main character
Michael Cera?
Yeah, isn't that George Michael?
George Michael
Yeah,
from
that's
Arrested
what it is.
Development?
Yeah, he's the main character.
Yeah.
And
He
you know
does a
him,
really
he's
good job.
hilarious.
Yeah,
he's
he is
just a fun.
And it's done by one of the director that did Hot Fuzz and stuff like that, right?
Hot Fuzz was hilarious.
The editing and everything, it's brilliant. It's an actually brilliant movie on how it's presented, how it's edited, how the story is told, how the edits and cuts are made.
You had me at Hot Fuzz when I saw that movie. When he kicks that grandma,
well, that movie's just
I
like
have not laughed that hard in so long.
Well,
Because
it's
I saw that
just-
movie years after everybody else. I saw that movie for the first time like 2 years ago. And I was
The
dying.
the style of humor is just like the part where he jumps over all the fences. Like, it's just so funny. I don't know.
When he dropped
Well,
kicks.
style
And
of
what's
humor
funny,
is
that's a take back to the zombie movie he did.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun
Which
of the
again,
Dead.
that
I've never
humor,
seen that one either.
That humor. Well, half the movie. So the movie's like an hour and a half, and the first hour and 5 minutes, they don't realize they're in a zombie apocalypse. It's hilarious. Like they just, it's.
I'll have to watch
it's
it.
so. It's
I consider, now this is going to be very niche of me to think of it like this, but I'm sorry I can't remember. My brain's going on a blank. But how Hot Fuzz is, how this movie is, and how like Shaun of the Dead is. You know how it's edited, like how they quickly edit and how things are brought in. I feel like the director for those movies is like Tom Morello was for the guitar. The electric guitar has been around forever. Once Eddie Van Halen came out, like it was like technical stuff like that. But then Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine comes out and does things with the guitar that you never thought possible,
before, yeah.
right? And it changes things, and you're like, oh my gosh, you can still innovate and stuff. I consider Scott Pilgrim and those style of movies
to have changed stuff.
Editing was kind of it started going very genetic. There was no like life brought into it, but those movies and Scott Pilgrim and that style of editing really makes you enjoy the movie more because they're doing things that you have never seen before, and it really is refreshing.
Cool.
Kind of a weird way to put that,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah, very cool.
You would really enjoy the movie. It's very, very good.
Yeah, Dieter Pinklage says, great analogy, spicy. Tom Morello doing like anti-solos, very analogous to the editing.
Yeah,
of
it
these
really
movies.
is. And speaking of like our Hot Fuzz, like, did you say cool off? So no, he's like, that's a shame. You know, like you gotta have those one-liners. Like that movie's great.
So Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, 10-year anniversary. It is here. Jordan's very excited for it.
Very excited. It's out now. $14.99 on the Xbox. Very cool. Game Pass. We got a lot of games coming to Game Pass this month of January 2021, and we got a few games leaving. So games coming. We have Injustice 2 for
Solid.
Android console and PC.
Solid.
Which is very solid. Injustice was actually a really good storyline.
Yeah, very solid.
I feel like. eFootball PES, which stands for Pro Evolution Soccer, for those of you that
Never
don't
played
know.
it, but everybody tells me it's fantastic.
Yep.
That's coming.
Coming to Android and console. And when I say Android, we're talking about the cloud play, right, that you can do, which is very cool. And then we got The Little Acre, also Android and console.
Don't know. Let's just
don't care.
Let's just say it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, coming to Game Pass. Neoverse,
Don't know.
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Love that game.
Which was
quality
a
game.
huge one.
Very good game.
Huge one.
Yeah, if you've never played What Remains of Edith Finch, jump on it. Game Pass.
You'll be done in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and you can play this with people because it's all story.
Yeah.
But it's very well done.
Yeah. And then we also have Torchlight 3.
That's a big one that you probably
I enjoy the Torchlight series. We played a little bit of Torchlight 3 and then got distracted by other things. But
Torchlight versus Diablo.
It depends on the Torchlight.
And it depends on the Diablo.
And it depends
Torchlight
on the
3, Diablo 3.
Diablo
3.
Torchlight 2, Diablo 3.
Torchlight
Torchlight 2.
2.
Wow. Torchlight,
Diablo
3.
2. Diablo 2.
Torchlight
Diablo 2 is
1,
my favorite.
Diablo 3.
Wait, hold on. Torchlight 1, Diablo 3?
Yeah.
Torchlight 1 because it was more like Diablo 1.
Oh, wow. So Torchlight is legit.
Well, Torchlight is literally the developers that developed Diablo.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So
And then they
have
were
that
like,
feel.
I hate this place. Let's
Yeah.
go make our own.
They were
Yeah.
like, the same people that made this place great no longer work here. Let's leave.
Yeah. Let's go make our own.
Yeah.
Let's leave.
So that one, so those games, all that I just mentioned are available now. And then we have a few coming out on January 26th. We have Cyber Shadow. On January 28th, we got 4 big ones in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
We got Yakuza Remastered 3, 4, and 5. So there's 3 games coming out on January 28th. And then the
big one.
big Microsoft exclusive here, The Medium, which will only be available on the Xbox Series consoles and PC, but will be available through Game Pass. So January 28th, we see The Medium, which is very exciting.
That is exciting. Just to see what it's like. Even, let's say the game sucks. I just want to see what it's like to switch back and forth between worlds. And
Instantly.
That is cool. It's that gameplay that's cool. It's interesting. It's doing something different and new, and that is what is so enticing about it.
Yeah, very exciting. And then we do have 4 games leaving. One I think was a personal favorite of David's, My Friend Pedro.
Oh, My Friend Pedro is so good. That is so. Did you, Spicy? You played My Friend
I think
Pedro,
that's a
right?
great
I
title.
I played a little bit. I have it downloaded because I saw that this was on the list and I have to finish this game.
It is so fun. It is bloody Matrix. Remember the Matrix games, and we talk about them all the time on the OG Xbox where you could slow down time. That's this, but more bloody and more fun. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love My Friend Pedro.
So my friend Pedro is leaving. Faster Than Light, FTL is leaving. Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet is leaving. And then I think they're all big ones, but a more mainstream one, I guess, would be Tekken 7 is also leaving.
Can I add that FTL, you just briefed over that real quick. FTL is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, it's a good game.
You tell me that I would really enjoy that game.
It's phenomenal. This was released back in I would call it the golden era of indie games. You had a lot of really strong
The Meat
hitters.
Boy era.
The Meat Boy era, yeah. This came out in that. The music just blows my mind. The replayability of Faster Than Light alone is amazing. I have this game on my it's the only game on my laptop, Faster Than Light. Whenever I get stuck somewhere, I can disappear in my laptop and play Faster Than Light
Yeah.
for hours and hours and hours. It's just a really, really good game. If you have not played that game, it's kind of weird to look at, but it's really fun to play.
Yeah.
The best way I can describe it, I would check that out before it's gone. Either way, it's a really good game. So, yeah.
That brings us to the last segment of our show. The question segment. Question. Hear that echo?
That was really, really
right?
good.
It's
man.
high tech effects
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh.
But it's 2021. It's our roadmap. We just added effects.
Added effects in this blah area.
First question. To submit a question, first of all, you can do so each and every single week over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. Hit the community tab, become a member, and submit a question. Blake Jenkins writes in and says, "Hey, bros, Game Pass has provided yet another gem. I recently started looking through Game Pass for some fun and games as a break from the hard and heavy hitters like AC and Cyberpunk. One of those games was Haven. And after playing it and describing it to my fiance, she has decided to download it and play it too. I haven't finished it, but the game has some stellar music and fun casual gameplay. My question," he says, "while games like The Medium are not my cup of tea, it does seem like we are seeing new and impressive gameplay features that make new and indie games very unique and fun to play. What new features or types of gameplay do you think are possible with this new generation of consoles and the rapid elevation of indie games into the mainstream of gaming? Side note, is it me or does it seem like indie platformers have some of the greatest music for games? I love the soundtracks in most of my favorite are in the platform
I
games."
agree, yeah.
Why do you think that is, Spicy? Why do you think platformers have some of the best music? Because it's more a part of the game?
No, there's less hands in the pot.
Oh.
So, and that lets musicians
Yeah.
that have been hired to do that have a lot more freedom to do whatever they want in the game.
Yeah. I
So
can see that.
that's what I think.
Well said.
causes it, yeah.
Well stated. So let me shorten this question for everybody. What new types of gameplay are we excited for? Do we think is possible in this new era of the Xbox? Spicy, let's start with you.
Well, I mean, let's look at loading times. No loading times.
Yeah.
That sounds dumb, but right now, even like Assassin's Creed and even the game I was playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, the game I'm playing now, the loading times on that game, you can't even read the hidden or like the subtext that give you hints.
Yeah, they'll have to get rid of those.
Yeah, there's not going to be that screen anymore. They're going to develop the game as soon as the last generation's gone. They're going to develop the game to not have that.
So
it's going
you
to be
could
a
have
seamless transition.
Essentially an endless world.
Correct. That's going to be completely gone. Right now, we have them in like Assassin's Creed because they're making that for the old consoles, right, and the old hardware. As soon as we get past the point of no return on hardware, no games are going to have loading anymore. It's just going to be gone. It's not going to be programmed in.
That's exciting.
I
True
think-
no load times, not Destiny no load times.
yeah, exactly.
I think hard drives will probably just get faster and faster, right?
Correct. Yeah, and they'll be developed to not even
Optimize,
need it.
yeah.
It's really gonna be like that. With that, I think features are gonna when you're gonna have games like adventure games or like Grand Theft Auto open world games. I remember playing San Andreas, for example, years ago, and thinking it was amazing that you could have games within games. And now it's a lot more common, but that wasn't a thing back then. Like I would go bowling, there was like a bike track that I would do. In that game you actually had to go eat and work out to stay fit.
Yeah.
And if you went on too many dates, your character actually got fat, right? But what I'm talking about is games are now going to have
They're metaverses.
correct. Like let's take Vigor for example.
Yeah.
This is just a simple example. You have an arcade upstairs in your house that you go in.
Super fun.
Now imagine having not an arcade game, but having a legit 2010 plus, or after Xbox game on that arcade that you're playing a game within a game, a full-fledged Duke Nukem or a full-fledged Wolfenstein or a full-fledged
Something.
Assassin's Creed. Let's say Ubisoft comes out with something or EA comes out with something. You can play Madden 2020 in a game, right? You're going to have that because the loading times and the hardware is going to allow that to happen. So I think
We're at the beginning of metaverses, where true metaverse, not Roblox metaverse or even Minecraft metaverse, where you're using their system to create games. And this is why it's, again, not to toot my own horn, but I believe I'm right. The future of MMOs is the Grand Theft Auto Online
Yeah, I think you're right.
style.
well, and you can
game.
well, like let's take Grand Theft Auto. We're in a loft that I purchased, And now everyone shows up. I invite them over virtually,
Yeah.
and we sit down and we play Call of Duty on the screen.
Yeah.
A game within a game, and it's a real game.
And say you have to purchase that game within that game
I see
to
what
get
you're
it.
doing there.
You
Yeah.
see, like it's going to be crazy. I agree with you. I think that this metaverse concept is just at its beginning. I mean, we've got an entire Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It was the number one selling game, or in the top 10 selling games every single month, the entire generation with Grand Theft Auto Online, and remains that to this day on now 2 generations later
Yeah.
of consoles. That's amazing.
Imagine that game if it didn't have a loading screen.
Yeah, a loading screen.
Because that's what turned me off.
And if the cell phone coverage works, you know, and then now they can expand upon that. It's going to be amazing.
Remember the 5-minute load into an online
But
session?
imagine this. Imagine a new game built with utilizing today's technology, a new framework, the whole shot that starts from today's point on. I think what we're going to see is amazing.
I mean, I keep saying this, the Cyberpunk map. Like,
Yeah.
imagine a game that actually can populate and make the world alive in that map where every building is something. You can go inside almost every building, right? And everything is unique in
That's
a certain
exciting.
way. Like,
Jordan, anything to add besides the fact you disagree with me about MMOs?
Yeah.
I guess the counter to it would be that with this technology, MMOs will be able to do things that they've never been able to do before as well, and they'll improve as a
but
result.
see, they're always going to be limited just a little bit. And the reason I say that is MMOs traditionally, and probably in the future, will always try to be allowed to be played on a potato.
I see what you're saying, because you want numbers.
You
in an MMO.
want everybody to be able to play it. So the game is going to be limited in design, not necessarily anything else, but in design to handle that. So it's going to be very traditional for a long time.
Eventually, the cloud would take that away.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see if we get to that point by the end of this
Azure.
generation.
Azure.
Sounds like a cologne for men.
Azure by Microsoft.
By Microsoft.
That's how they should do their
They should.
commercials. Yeah.
They should make a. I would buy that cologne. Azure.
Have like a cologne commercial. They make no sense.
Oh, yeah.
They
It's like
actually make no
It's
sense.
like a lion.
All you need
A
is
lion.
a sheet blowing in black and white in the
Yeah,
wind.
in black and white. Just a lion on a white backdrop walking around a colored bottle of cologne.
Colored bottle, and then have a girl just look over at it.
Yeah.
And then look away.
And then a voice
Azure by Microsoft.
by Microsoft. And it's very like ASMR.
Yeah.
Like the X1Bros. We should have our own cologne.
Yeah, we should.
The X1Bros. By the X1Bros.
Get the Musk, that
X1Bros.
man Musk.
Man Musk.
By
For men.
Microsoft.
We should go out our cologne should be the X1Bros Man Musk for men or women. Buy it now.
Powered by Azure.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Put this on.
this is making me uncomfortable, legitimately.
It's just really fun. It's why people like I think like NPR, for instance, or the BBC or any of that type of stuff. I think it's boring. It's not. But the appeal to those is that's how they talk. It's like listening to a 4-hour cologne commercial giving you the news. So if we were to do the NPR version of the X1 Bros, it would be this. It would be this week. We've got.
Here, let me. Okay, don't talk loud. Okay.
Okay, I want to be really quiet. And you bring it up, and then you take away any noise, and you talk very quietly, and you say, "This week, these games are being removed from Game Pass."
It's like how Delilah talks.
Yeah, it's exactly. But it's appealing.
Yeah,
It's
like,
appealing
yeah.
because it's soft. It's quiet, and you're like, you really have to listen, and it's just.
Let me know when you do that. 'Cause
Here, I'm gonna do it right now. This week.
Okay. Everybody shut
Here we
up.
go.
Everybody shut up.
NPR X1 Bros. This week, Indiana Jones did release on Bethesda. Bethesda announced this. It has yet to be seen whether or not this game will be exclusive. However, I think that it will indeed be exclusive. This is exactly why Xbox purchased Bethesda in the first place.
It's like you can hear your tongue moving. You know?
Yeah, it's just really getting in there on the. It's ASMR news.
I wonder if can I boost you too? Let me hold on.
Yeah, you
Okay,
you can do my deeps.
Oh yeah, I'll get you the deeps going.
Here we go. We've got this. Oh, it's a little bit Little bits.
I'm screwing everything up. Okay, ready? Here you go.
Okay.
You're good.
Xbox.
Nice and quiet.
Steam did announce this week its top 100 games, and Xbox did very well. While Xbox had no games on the Platinum version, they did have 2 games, Sea of Thieves and Halo the Master Chief Collection, come in gold. Dude, you really you literally have to whisper. That's the NPR version of the. We should add that as a segment.
Maybe games will add that as a feature.
We should. We should add that as a segment. The NPR Bros.
The NPR Bros.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta re-level you. And
I'm all quiet now.
That is a really good question, though. What new features do we think will be coming? Because I mean, I bet you there's a developer somewhere that's just thinking up some crazy stuff,
Doing
right?
stuff outside the box.
The idea of just the medium alone, just switching between 2 worlds because now we can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I never would have thought of that, right?
No.
And I think, and this may be controversial, but I think the gameplay features are more important than the graphics. Don't get me wrong, I think it's really nice to have a pretty game, but you don't remember games because of their graphics. You remember games because of what they did.
That's true.
Right? For example, I don't remember.
Crysis is kind of remembered because of its graphics.
No, not really. I'll use Crysis as an example. Crysis, although at the time a very pretty game, it's not the first thing you think of as Crysis was holy crap, those graphics. You think holy crap, that physics engine,
that's
right?
True. That's true.
You know what I mean? It's why I wasn't necessarily upset with the Halo graphics, although like I said, pretty graphics do complement your game.
Yeah.
But what was exciting about that Halo trailer is the gameplay, right? The
It's
direction
true.
they were going.
It is exciting.
Games like Titanfall, I don't remember Titanfall 1 because of the graphics. I remember it basically switched up the first-person shooter formula.
You could
know
run
what
on
I mean?
walls. The whole
Again,
shot.
gameplay features, right? Again, I do really, pretty graphics are nice, but more exciting is what they can do with gameplay features. I mean, I know we're an Xbox podcast, but I'm very excited for the new Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah.
The Rift Between Worlds, because of that gameplay feature of
it's-
jumping between all those worlds. It's essentially kind of the same thing as the
It's
medium.
the same thing that the medium is doing,
Yeah.
and that's what's really exciting.
So,
Great question, though. Thank you very much for writing in, Blake. Appreciate it. Happy Mayo writes in and says, "What's up, fellas? I want to toot my own horn for a second. AC Valhalla, I've 100%ed
ooh,
it. Very nicely done. Happy Mayo.
that
Congratulations.
means for the past 2 weeks he's had no life at all.
No life. Well done. He
That
says,
is impressive.
He says,
that is
it
impressive.
took me just 120 hours to do,
Very
but I
nice.
finished it. For the record, Ivor is a badass, but I digress. He says, my question, when the Bethesda deal went down, do you think it would be wise for Microsoft to use this purchase as trading power? By that, I mean, I'm Microsoft. I have the new Elder Scrolls, and Sony really wants it, and Microsoft says, okay, you give us the rights to God of War, and we give you Elder Scrolls. I mean, you could, in theory, do that. I don't think they're going to do that, though, but you could. Doesn't matter to Microsoft because their focus is the ecosystem. It feels like leverage to gain access to Sony's exclusive games. P.S. If you haven't played Deep Rock Galactic, it's pretty entertaining. Minecraft gameplay, Sea of Thieves feel with massive amount of monsters. We have had a blast with it. We have played Deep Rock Galactic. Way fun game. But do you think that, I mean, they technically could. I think they could use it as leverage. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think they would
I
either.
think you would muddy the waters too much. It would be, and let's use Netflix because this is really a Netflix, quote unquote, model with video games. Netflix is not going to want to give Stranger Things to Amazon Prime.
For Jack Ryan.
You know,
What if it was more like temporal stuff, like go get me that Subway sandwich and maybe I'll think about it. You know?
That would
Get
be
me
awesome.
lunch
See, that
today.
would be cool.
That would be awesome.
I'd be okay with that.
You do my laundry for the next 5 years, and you can have it.
And you can have Halo for 5 years.
You can have a Halo skin for 5 years.
No, I don't
Do
necessarily.
all our laundry and then maybe we're talking.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily have to because I think Microsoft's in a good position, right? I think PlayStation, as we've seen with Horizon 2, or sorry, not Horizon 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think it was Become Human, and even Hideo Kojima's latest game.
The one where you march around with the biggest backpack you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's actually a really fun
know,
game.
with the ladder.
What's it called? Death
Backpack.
Stranding. Death Stranding. Those
yeah.
all Sony exclusives have come to the PC, right? So I think Sony. I mean, I don't know exactly what their strategy is. I don't know exactly what Microsoft's strategy is, but I think Sony sees value in spreading it out, at least to the PC, right? So I don't think Microsoft has to do that because since Microsoft, let's be honest, is the PC, if Sony decides to, let's say, put The Last of Us Part 2 or Uncharted on the PC, that's still a win for Microsoft, right? You know?
Yeah. No, that's some good points. That's a great question. Happy Mayo. It's interesting.
I would
It's gonna
like
be
to
interesting
see
how it plays out.
I would like to see that room though. Like, hey man,
the negotiating
Yeah,
room?
like if you do our laundry, or that would be hilarious.
3 massages a week
Yeah.
for a month.
That's how big boy business was done. Like world-altering business deals, that's how they're done.
But see, again, I mean, it's
Two
it's,
and
it's,
a half. You
it's
got a deal.
it's tough because I think Sony's making big deals too because of Final Fantasy. I think that's a ginormous deal.
Ginormous.
Where it's PlayStation. We don't really know. It's kind of hazy. We do know that in the trailer it said console exclusive PlayStation, also coming to PC. Now whether that's a timed exclusive, which I assume it would be, we don't know, right? So I mean, Sony's making big moves too.
Lines
so I mean,
lines are being drawn.
Which they are.
Lines are being drawn in the gamosphere.
The gamosphere.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like what I did
Yeah,
there.
you coined that.
Jimmy Figueroa writes in and says, "Hey bros, should Halo Infinite focus solely on being a next-gen game and not try to play on last generations?" He says, "With what we saw with Cyberpunk's launch with Xbox Ones and PS4s, do they need to just solely focus on the Series X? What is your guys' opinion?"
Well, I mean, yes, but I think they could have done a better job on. If we're talking about
On
Cyberpunk,
Oh yeah, they could.
they could have done a better job on polishing,
Optimizing it.
and optimizing it for older generation hardware.
I think so as well. I mean, look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The game is really incredibly good looking on the new consoles, but also plays well on the old consoles.
True.
Not as well, right? Because your
Cyberpunk was always, I mean, it's wildly ambitious. It's they kept delaying it. Clearly, it needed to be done. We criticized it, or at least I did, saying, "What are we delaying? Let's just get this out there." But no, it was the right call to delay.
No, and
could you imagine at its original launch what must have happened there?
Yeah.
And maybe it was the focus. And in fairness, maybe they put that focus on the Series X and the next generation consoles because they want to make a good impression there and took away focus from the last generation consoles. But I think there's enough time. I don't think the issues with Halo were technical necessarily. It sounds like it was this more overarching, because what we saw at the release looked like something that could be played on the Xbox. It wasn't this highly ambitious graphical powerhouse.
I personally
But you tell me personally.
I personally think Halo should do what the medium's doing and drop the old consoles. That's just me. I know Microsoft very consumer friendly. I know it's very consumer friendly to release the game to all the consoles right now, and probably come the time of the launch of Halo later to the end of this year, there will most likely be more older consoles out there than new. So, I mean, obviously you make more money if you release it to the older consoles, but I do think...
But if you're interested, sorry to interrupt, if you're interested in selling hardware, you cut it off to sell the new hardware, which Microsoft not necessarily is. They still are, but they're...
Game Pass is the
Game
focus.
Pass is their selling point, right?
That's the thing, right?
And cloud.
But
they've been pushing cloud for a while too.
I do think with I think it's probably because it's Halo. With a Halo type game, I would have it show off all your new features of your new box, right? And I do think being developed for older consoles, despite what certain people on YouTube say, when you're developing for an old console, you have to keep that console in mind, which, yes, 100% does hold back certain features of a newer console.
I disagree with you.
I'll give you an example.
Destiny.
The medium. Destiny 2 was when it came out on the older consoles, it was held back, let's call it held back, quote unquote, by the vault space. You could not use a certain feature in your vault in order to up the vault space on the old consoles because of I think the developer called it a memory issue, RAM. You could not use the compare feature.
Yeah, but wasn't theirs due to their engine that they used?
Because
it was due to a memory issue.
It was built for old hardware.
And then, so on the new console,
they couldn't progress the game.
I think it was.
I think people on YouTube are still correct.
No.
Are you talking about yourself?
No. I don't think.
I think it's the nature of the thing. If you're developing for
the
old Xbox and the Xbox Series S, you're being held back. A case in point is Medium, and another case in point would be Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank, the new game, is only possible on the new hard drives.
Well,
it literally cannot be developed for the old
Well,
consoles.
I think
right?
another good example, probably a better example, is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Another better example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That was a nice, nice.
But even just taking the medium, the way it switches between worlds
Is just not possible.
is not possible on that old hard drive. Therefore, if they would have developed it for both consoles, that gameplay feature would not have been able to do what it's meant to do. Right?
So are you of the opinion what you're saying is you think that yes, Halo Infinite should solely focus on the new
I
consoles?
do, because Halo is your flagship title. It is the title that made the Xbox, right? So dropping the old console, because people will say, oh, you can make games scalable. Yes, you can. Scalable still doesn't just because a game is scalable doesn't mean it's still not being held back. It may be scalable, like Cyberpunk. It will be scalable, right? Assassin's Creed is scalable, but there's certain things when you develop a game, if you're focused on the old hardware.
Is there any instances of a game that you can think of off the top of your head? PC is probably going to be the best example of this. Of on older PCs, you just can't do a feature that you can do on newer PCs, or is there features that are held back in PC?
Wait,
Yeah.
what's your question?
Just that, because essentially the argument is that you have to sacrifice features.
Yes.
Yes, that's we've given like 3 examples
Yeah,
of features.
but
right?
is there an example of, because a PC? I guess there's minimums.
Yeah,
there's minimum hard system requirements.
There's
on
a
PC.
there's
That's
100
what
there's
that is.
100%
Okay.
there's 100%
Never
example.
mind. Never mind.
I'll use an older game just
Okay, go
to
ahead.
really make people angry.
Shh, go ahead.
The Witcher 3 cannot run on your old laptop, but it can run on my computer.
Yeah, no, I didn't think there's system
Yeah.
requirements on PC games, so you
Exactly,
have to have
right?
there's a threshold there.
a better example. No, I'm just kidding. That
No,
was really funny when you said that.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's very consumer friendly to do that, and I think the more players that get it, ultimately
Yeah.
the better for your game, right? All I'm saying is, one, yes, if you're if you're developing with older technology in mind, your game at certain points in its development are being held back. It doesn't matter how scalable the game is, you cannot scale the Medium's feature or Ratchet and Clank's feature of being, that switching between worlds instantaneous like that, right?
Well
I mean,
said.
that's just not. So what I'm saying is, because Halo is what it is, and I think more so on this Halo game than past Halo games, all eyes are on it, looking to bring the series back to its former glory, if you will.
Glory days.
I think an all-out exclusive Xbox Series and PC,
Would be ginormous.
would be, yeah. 'cause-
Well said. Great question, Jimmy Figueroa. Thank you very much for writing in. Jordan,
Yeah.
before we head out here, that does us actually for
Oh.
today.
Oh, okay.
By the way, everybody, thank you very much
See
for
ya.
listening to us. Jordan, give me your game plans for the week.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, yes.
So, and I'm actually really glad that Microsoft has basically blanketed the Xbox brand over PC, because now I feel like I can talk about PC games and not feel bad.
Yeah, you don't feel
On the show.
You
On the
don't
show,
feel
yeah.
constrained.
Yeah,
You
I
can-
know. I feel.
You
I feel
can
like
be you.
Yeah, I do.
It's equivalent of wearing sweatpants. Gaming sweatpants.
No, I've been playing a lot of that. I did decide what I wanted to do with my gaming life. I
Oh.
want to beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay.
And then
It's respectable.
I was debating on whether I want to move on to Phoenix Rising
Very good
or Dragon Quest. I think I'm going to go Dragon Quest, because I feel like if I go all the way through, because I just did Cyberpunk, which is open world.
Yeah.
I'm doing Assassin's Creed, which is open world, but still very different to Cyberpunk, so it doesn't feel like I'm burnt out yet. I feel like if I went to Assassin's Creed to Phoenix Rising right away, I'd almost get burnt out. Because would you say it's similar to an Assassin's Creed formula? Because that's when I watch people play it, I kind of get that vibe, which is not a bad vibe, but it's a,
Totally.
yeah, okay.
Totally.
It's a Ubisoft open world.
Yeah, and it's Breath of the Wild style, where you can only hold on to the cliff
Yeah.
for so long.
So I think I'm gonna do Assassin's Creed, and then I'm gonna do Dragon Quest, which yes still is open world, but it's Japanese open world, which is its own thing.
Yeah.
And then I think after Dragon Quest, I'm gonna do.
That is
Phoenix
a very
Rising,
respectable
yeah.
plan that you
So.
have there. Spicy, do you have any such plans?
I'm going to do Phoenix Rising now.
Okay.
I have that. I've downloaded
Stardew
it.
Valley came out with some big
What?
patches. Have you jumped into Stardew Valley?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why wasn't this on the news?
We thought you knew.
We thought you knew. We just figured you're.
We figured that's
connected.
not news. They're
You're-
always coming out with
We
stuff.
figured you're plugged in.
There's another wizard
not.
tower. I'm just kidding.
I'm not.
There's another wizard tower.
Really?
Yeah, Stardew Valley, the Two Towers is what. No, I'm just kidding. That would be
that would be hilarious.
that'd be great.
Mordor's coming.
So, but you're hooked on Phoenix.
Yeah,
Rising.
but
It
I
is
might,
a cool looking game.
I might go over to Stardew again if there's new stuff.
I have been practicing. I said this on our last podcast goals. I've been practicing my first-person shooting skills, like legit practicing. Dude, you improve fast. It's only 2 weeks in. I've been doing it every day for 30 minutes. Just every day, 30 minutes. I have a calendar that I cross off, make sure that I get it done. And
do you listen to like Survivor or like any Rocky music or
no?
anything?
But now I am going to. Yes. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. No, but I was showing you some of my clips, highlights before. You improve. I play always on the same controller, the Elite
We're talking
controller.
about practice.
Practice.
Huh?
Yeah. You improve. And so practice makes perfect.
Indeed.
I'm excited. And I actually have my practice set up to where it's third-person practice for my third-person games. It'll be interesting to see if that transfers over to first-person, which it will. It will, because it's just about muscle memory. That's all that it is, muscle memory.
But you're also practicing on kind of a janky style game.
True, but I don't practice on. I do one gameplay on the game. I'm primarily in aim lab.
Okay, it's a lot better than what it used to be.
Yeah,
but it's not like an Overwatch.
Oh yeah, no. But you see the improvement fast.
Yeah.
So
definitely good job, David.
Thank you.
You're getting good.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
Got to step it up. No, I just wanted to express myself.
I know what you want to hear. You're getting a lot better than Jordan.
I did hit 50 on the battle pass this week.
He did. They extended that. We're talking vigor here, everybody. They extended that out.
Yeah, 75. I'm not going to hit 75.
You're getting so much better than Jordan right now.
That does us for today, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. We love hanging out with you guys. If you'd like to support the show, one of the best things that you can do is come follow us on YouTube. Share our videos with your friends, with your family on social media. Also, head over to iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. We've actually grown pretty substantial in our podcast audience, so thank you, everybody, for listening. Leave a review, rate us, review us. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Guys, hey, everybody in chat, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We are going to have the Jordan PC build here in about 15-20 minutes probably, so stay tuned. We'll announce it in Discord. Stay tuned and look out for that. If you haven't yet, make sure you like this video and subscribe to us. Hit the notification bell. Liking this video really helps us. This video will go up on YouTube, so appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Here is our credits for everybody for supporting us. Thank you very much, and we will see you guys on the Jordan build. See you guys there.
Bye.
Bye.